You guys know how every single time summer hits, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be like 2016. Like when Musically was at an all time high, starting all of our social media addictions. And if you had Snapchat and other stuff before then, I know TikTok was like it was like your snow. It was like your snow. Your addiction was at an all time high. This was back when Drake was dropping banger after banger after banger after banger without fail. And Pokemon Go had you guys exploring places we didn't even know existed. So you know how 2016 is related to summer. But every time fall comes around, I'm reminded of 2019. And it's like I don't just feel the memories. I feel the aesthetic. I remember the aesthetic. It feels purple. Everyone had LED lights all across their bedrooms, and I still do. No Idea by Don Tolliver, Old Town Road, and Roxanne play on repeat in my head. And this is just back when it was starting to get normal to have TikTok, but also it was still kind of this cringy thing that had a bunch of furries and all TikTok was going on, no offense. But also when the Visco girls were doing
Hi, you must be new.
and like had their hydro flask, and I don't have a hydro flask, but Awala. Awala is our hydro flask now. But now that I think about it, the furries and the Visco girls helped TikTok become what it is today. They helped it blow up for all the middle schoolers and the high schoolers at the time, which I was in high school, but the beginning stages of TikTok felt like its own high school. Like, you know, that was back when Charlie D'Amelio was still making TikToks in her bathroom and she was blowing up for whatever reason. People like Avani, Josh Richards, and all those other early TikTok hype house people were all blowing up, but they were still normal people. And I think that's what made OG TikTok so fun. It was like, wow, who are these random people and why are they blowing up? Like, they're just literally people dancing in their rooms or dancing in their school bathrooms. And we're like, wait, why is this kind of addicting? This era felt so niche, and it was right before it was oversaturated. Like, there was just the perfect amount of people on TikTok, and it still felt like it was for my generation, like Gen Z and millennials, and it was before all the boomers got on TikTok. And that's a great thing, but that's a different conversation for another time. This is like our Gen Z, 90s. You know how everyone's like, oh, my parents grew up, they were teenagers in the 90s and became adults in the early 2000s, so they lived the best life. But like, I feel like 2019 was our 90s and 2000s. People like Charlie D'Amelio, she got famous and now has multi-million-dollar net worth from doing the Renegade. And she didn't even make that dance.
Excuse me, you're in my shot. Hi guys, we're at the Golden Globes and look who's behind me. Zoe Kravitz, and she looks so good.
Like, it's so crazy to think about. And people like Addison Rae, like, they have their own pop stardom. They have pop stardom. They have their own music careers. Again, as someone who was in high school at the time, I think before all of them blowing up, them just dancing in their school bathrooms was what added to the relatability of TikTok itself, as well as creators like Charlie on the app. I think that's why, pandemic aside, it blew up so quickly. It was founded on relatability, and it was different from Musically, where, no, I lied. At the beginning, it was kind of like Musically, except it was like dancing. So it was kind of like Dub Smash, it was like Fundament, it was like all that other stuff still. But then what differentiated it was when people started showing, like, hey, this is just my regular life. This is just me living life, especially as lockdown happened. Again, that initial base of relatability is what I think made TikTok what it is today. Then, of course, in 2020, we all know what hit. Everything changed. TikTok stopped being the cringy, musically replacement, and suddenly everyone was on it. Mothers, babies, grandmothers, uncles, everyone, dogs, everyone was on TikTok. We were sleeping during Zoom classes. Everyone was making whipped coffees and matchas and TikTok trends and Among Us were the only things keeping us together. The Renegade, Say So, and Savage dances were inescapable. I was someone who didn't like learning TikTok dances because I was like, okay, if I'm not gonna post, then there's no point of me learning these dances. But even in my head, like I know a few things. Like I still know most of the moves, even though I never even practiced it. So I know people who did it 24/7, recording themselves 24/7. Like it's built into your body language, is built into your muscle memory. And I think that's so powerful. I think even when we're like 70 years old in geriatric facilities, we will still be hitting the Renegade. Like, we'll be like, that was my song 50 years ago. That was my song. We quite literally had political figures playing Among Us.
Oh, Pokey, she's so nice. I can't do that. Sorry, Pokey. Oh, no.
Well.
We had political figures playing Among Us, and if that was not the telltale sign of the direction that our world was going in, I don't like that year and years after that were a simulation. 2020 specifically was a simulation, and you cannot convince me otherwise. It was a fever dream on steroids. And social media became our only lifeline and was actually being used for the purpose of what it was made for, to connect people together, especially during a time when we physically could not be near each other. Regular people, again, became millionaires by dancing in their rooms, and still to this day, that's something that's possible. People can cook, people can tell jokes, people can share their lives and change their lives monetarily forever. Just making transition videos and bringing laughter during a time where it was scarce offline. It was such a weird mix of boredom, chaos, and connection all happening at once. And looking back, fall of 2019 to summer of 2020 feels like its own self-contained era, like had a beginning, middle, and end, which is rare in internet culture because especially now today, trends go so fast that it's hard to keep up. And also everyone's on a different side of TikTok. Like, you remember when like alt TikTok, deep TikTok, and I forgot the other ones, but like there were different sides of TikTok that you could be on. But like now everyone's on a different side. You might get a joke like 6'7", you might get a joke, but you might not even understand where it originated from, or you might not even know what that means until everyone in your real life is saying it. So I think that's what made that era so special. I think we can all agree that from 2021 onward, everything is just like one big memory blob, because I can say, oh, I was just talking about this thing a few months ago, but then I actually remember and I said it in like 2023. I don't know if you guys feel that way too, but like sometimes I just get so confused and I cannot remember what year things happened unless I'm like, okay, wait, I was a senior in high school when that happened. And like sometimes that's the only way I can remember. But even then, that memory fails me sometimes. And like I said, trends come and go so fast nowadays that it's hard to attribute 1 month to a specific thing. Like, it's not like, oh, this month the Renegade was really big. This month Say So dance was really big. This month whatever trend was really big, because something new is happening every day. And you know, back in 2019, you could have one song dominate TikTok for literal months. And now I get surprised when I hear a song for more than 2 weeks. And even 2 weeks is kind of stretching it because people get tired fast and our attention spans, like I've talked about this in so many videos, our attention spans are trash. It's so bad. It's so bad, and I don't know if we can recover from it. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks where people have been sharing their stories of they feel like now at the age that they are, they should be so much more accomplished than they are because they still feel stuck at the age that they were during the pandemic. And I am someone who can definitely relate to that. And you know, I'm about to be 21 soon, and like sometimes I still feel 15. And like that was years ago, and I think that's such a big gap. And you know, I get that imposter syndrome that I feel like I should be doing more. I should have more money. I should have a job secured. I should have all of these things. But I know I get distracted. I know that my attention span is trash. And I'm just like, how can I change my internet habits and just my social habits and my all of these habits to actually get to the age that I am physically? You know, sometimes I feel stunted. I'm like, my social skills are in the gutter. I've gotten way too comfortable being in my room for hours and long periods of time. The most tragic part is that TikTok still has me in a chokehold. Like recently, it's been really bad. I had been doing good for a little bit, but now it's back. It's bad again. It's like 8+ hours a day. Um, and I'm in school now, so you're imagine that I'm still doing school and I'm still full time TikTok user. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. Like me not touching my phone. This is the longest period I haven't touched my phone in so long. Like only when I'm filming and when I'm in class. Like I don't touch my phone. I've gotten a tiny bit better in trying to focus on my hobbies like crocheting, actually exercising and going to the gym, watching classic movies, or just watching some of my old favorite movies just so I could put my phone down and just be like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this one thing for the hour and a half, 2 hours that it's running. Like just like sometimes I just have to set a timer, a 30-minute timer. I'm like, okay, let me crochet for this 30 minutes. Also, I've gotten competent enough to post on TikTok and post on social media. So I think that's a big sign of my growth because I had been afraid for my whole life. Like I never thought I would be recording videos ever. So, you know, I've grown in some ways. I can't deny that. It's all still a work in progress, but you know, even my screen time limits on my phone are not enough for me to stop scrolling. So, you know, I have to put more measures into place to restrict myself and to help myself live a little more, you know, just get off my phone and actually live in the present moment while I still can. Like I'm a senior in college, so after this it's like I might do my master's and then that's it. I always ask my friends, like, what were we doing before TikTok? Because there's no way, I swear there's no way I was spending 10+ hours just watching YouTube. But even if I was, that's because it was the prime era of YouTube when I was like watching Shane Dawson and I was watching Good Mythical Morning and Berleezy and all this other stuff. There's no way I was spending that much time, but like my phone, guys. It's rough. The whole point of this video is to say that I miss the innocence and I guess a little bit of the forced virtual togetherness that we once had pre and early pandemic. You know, we heard the same audios on repeat. I thought I was above learning TikTok dances, like I said, but you know, I still have those in my muscle memory. Like, I feel like once the songs come on, like it's like a trigger in our brains. Like we become robots where we hear like the Renegade and we're like, wait, and then you start renegade, you know? It's deep in our brains. It's deep. We're in deep. We have to figure out who we were before we were prisoners to our phones. We survived, so we can't let life just pass us by. We can't let another 5-10 years go by and be like, oh, I'm stuck on my phone. Like, I don't want to be like that. Frankly, I don't want to be like that. Everyone, get up, go for a walk, brush your teeth, join a club, go get a gym membership, eat healthy, go shopping, go get your nails done. Now is the time to be grateful that we can have human connection without barriers. And I know like it's so scary, especially when you haven't socialized for a long time. You feel rusty. It's a skill. Social skills. It's a skill and a muscle that needs to be trained just like anything else. So I'm giving all this advice and I know I have to take it as well. But I was just wondering what you guys thought. I just had to say what I thought. And, you know, I wonder, do you guys feel the same way? Does fall of 2019 feel like the last real era before everything like blurred together for you? Or do you think we're just nostalgic because we're getting older? And I think that does play a factor, but tell me what you guys think. Do you also have memory issues surrounding like 2021 to now? Because I swear sometimes I still don't know what I did yesterday or a week ago. I'm like, why are you asking me tough questions? Like, let's pause. Let's pause. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name's Maddie. This is my cave, and Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think TikTok's going to be around for a lot longer. Hop on it. Hop on it. Express yourself. But, don't be a slave to it. Post for fun. You can make money just posting your life. And, there will always be a demand for people sharing their lives because we're nosy. We're nosy creatures. So, hey, if you needed a confidence boost today, I hope you got it from me. And I hope you guys had a great day. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.